Hi. When word embeddings became popular a couple of years ago, one of the properties that was heavily marketed was this notion of word analogies. And the idea behind these analogies was as follows. Suppose that we have embeddings, in this case in two-dimensional space, then we might be able to do arithmetic. We might be able to say, let's take this vector for king, and let's subtract the vector of man from it. And then we can add the vector of woman. And the property that was marketed was that if you take the embedding of king, you subtract from that the embedding for man, and then you add woman, that you then might get a vector that's very close to the vector of queen. Now, the idea here is that we are dealing with a linguistic analogy. The relationship from king to man is similar to the relationship from queen to woman. And when these word embeddings just came out, it was this word analogy property that was heavily marketed, and it also contributed to this perhaps sense that you can use arithmetic with word embeddings and that you would then get a representation of the meaning of the word. What I would like to do in this video is to explain that this relationship between an actual word analogy and arithmetic on embeddings doesn't hold. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to reproduce these properties for some common word embeddings, and if it doesn't, we'll try to explain what is happening instead. So what I'm going to do now is try to reproduce this analogy task, so to say, using the What Lies library. In particular, what I'll do is I'll have a look at the English fast text language, that's what I'll start with, and I'll ask the language backend to give me the 10 most similar embeddings to the vector that belongs to king. But after that, I'm going to do the same thing, but instead I'm going to ask it for the vector that's the most similar to king minus man plus woman. So let's have a look. There's a few things to point out here. For starters, if I ask it for embeddings that are similar for just king here, then we can indeed confirm that we get some words that should appear in a similar context. King, queen, king with a capital, royal, throne, kingdom. These are all things that have to do with royalty. The most similar embedding to king is, of course, king itself. And a thing to point out is that what we are doing here as a distance measure is we're using the cosine distance. We're also using cosine distance over here. But if we have a look at what's happening below here, it seems that if we take king, and we subtract from that man, and we add to that woman, that where we end up is still more similar to king than to queen. Only if we were to ignore the original embedding that we started out with, then it seems that yes, queen might be the most similar. But it is a little bit strange. If I look at the cosine distance that queen has here, then it seems that the cosine distance that I had before is actually smaller. So I hope that you would agree that for this basic example in the fast text embedding space, it simply doesn't hold that king minus man plus woman equals queen. If we just left king intact, it would have been more similar to queen than where this embedding ends up. And just for good measure, what I can do is I can do a similar thing, but now by taking the Euclidean distance. And even though this is a different similarity measure, the conclusion is the same. Again, we see that king here is on top. And also here we see that the original distance from king to queen is smaller than the distance from queen to king minus man plus woman. So this already demonstrates that king minus man plus woman does not really equal queen. That's too much of a stretch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay down a hypothesis of what I currently think might be happening when we do these arithmetic operations. And to argue for my point, what I'm showing here is the similarity matrix between king, queen, man, and woman. One thing that I hope you observe is that king and queen are quite similar, and man and woman are quite similar. And sure, there's a little bit of similarity happening if we go away from the clusters over here, but by and large, most of the similarity is happening between king and queen, and man and woman. And that allows me to maybe think about it in a different way. Let's again write down our formula. So we have king minus man plus woman is approximately equal to queen. If I consider that man and woman are very, very similar anyway, then I can kind of wonder what this operation here is actually doing. If these two vectors are really similar, and this chart here suggests that they really are, then don't these two terms just cancel each other out? And one way of thinking about this is that maybe if this is the origin, it might be the case that, let's say, man and woman are over here, but that king and queen are not necessarily in the same cluster. We might have a little cluster of points here that resemble royalty, and a couple of points here that perhaps resemble personal identification. But then let's just draw explicitly what happens if I first add the vector of woman, subtract from that the vector for man, and if we were to think what it actually means to sort of be here, well, it's perhaps maybe more like noise than something that's actually containing meaning. If I were now to add king, then in effect, the main thing that's happening is I'm just going to go to the cluster where king is in. Since these two cancel each other out to a large extent, what I'm probably just doing is taking the vector of king, adding a little bit of noise, and lo and behold, king and queen were similar to begin with. So with that in mind, it occurs to me that perhaps we shouldn't be thinking in terms of word meaning in arithmetic. Maybe we should be thinking in terms of entering and escaping clusters of words that exist in embedded space. And if we keep this in mind, we can run another experiment. So let's now consider a slightly different formula, just to see what comes out. Let's say that I'm interested in getting the vector for a host, and I will subtract the vector of man, and I will add to it the vector of woman. If we follow the king-queen story, then we might expect that what comes out here is hostess. However, let's just have a look at what we get when we actually run this. What you see here is a table where first we are saying, well, let's just get host and then find the most similar terms. And what I'm doing in the column after it is I'm doing the same thing, but for host minus man plus woman. And you'll notice that it pretty much stays the same. In fact, hostess goes down in the ranking, and it seems like all the distances that we get on the right-hand side over here are just increased. It might just be that we're adding noise here. So let's do something that's similar. Let's just say that we take host, we subtract from that slow, and we add to that fast. And let's again see what we get. When you look at the result here, you might notice that we get a very similar result back. The order of words here barely changes. And my current theory behind what we're seeing here, effectively, is that we're just adding and subtracting terms that are very similar. So to emphasize what I think might be happening, I will make one final diagram of the operations. Now, this is a somewhat big simplification because I'm just drawing this out in 2 dimensions, but just to get a feel of what might be happening, let's say that we have a cluster over here where we have host and hostess and professions. I can imagine that such a cluster is somewhat closer to man and woman than maybe fast and slow. But let's see what happens if I add and subtract some vectors. Let's first add fast, and then subtract slow. And let's add that to host. I can do a similar thing with man-woman. Let's add woman, subtract man, and once again, let's add host. And what I hope that you can see is, as long as the embeddings that we add and subtract are from the same cluster, then odds are we never really move away from this original cluster. And it does depend. With this final example over here, we can kind of see that we might be entering a neighboring cluster instead, but by and large it does feel like I might be able to explain what this analogy arithmetic is doing by just considering these clusters, so to say, and not to think about these vectors as if we can add and subtract actual meaning. What we really have to remember here is that embeddings don't imply meaning. Instead, it represents clusters based on how words are used. And perhaps the best argument for this is fast and slow. They are opposites of each other, but they exist in the same cluster because they are used in similar ways, namely to explain how fast something is going. And to then assume that you can just use arithmetic on those embeddings and expect consistent results, that's just a bit of a stretch. And if nothing else, on the fast text embeddings, it's been proven to be fairly easy to confirm that they don't hold in general. If you're interested in exploring this more yourself though, feel free to check out the What Lies Python package, because it makes playing around with this sort of thing quite easy.